XRP, as opposed to SWIFT with a Ripple Bank of America partnership revisited. We're going to be speak me about that alongside the reality that the US authorities just got approval to sell off 6 billion greenbacks worth of Bitcoin. And what signal is the bond marketplace sending? I realize bonds a touch bit more dull than crypto, but we were given to understand so we are able to put together our entire analysis for our investment thesis. It's clearly vital to not just awareness on crypto and pump me up, bro, but to understand what's definitely taking vicinity in those markets. So in case you appreciate what we are doing, you recognize what to do. Subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't pass over any of our updates, and let's bring you this replays. Now, I want to make a factor. Bitcoin is outperforming the stock market. Bitcoin, we got to respect it. I recognize parents are kind of brought about when I make some of these statements about Bitcoin, and I'm more often than not targeted on the ROI. I understand it's two exclusive use instances. One's just a shop of price, that's virtually all they care to be. And we've application assets like XRP, so I apprehend it's no longer necessarily an instantaneous assessment. However, it is the point, is the value proposition. The trouble being solved, the addressable marketplace is completely distinctive. And I do not know approximately you men, however, I'm right here to make money. So I respect Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing well, doing truly properly. Well, it's without a doubt going down right now. I'll show you that chart here in a second. However, I wanted to make certain that the Bitcoin folks do not get too dissatisfied with me and that I am acknowledging that Bitcoin is still doing certainly well as compared to the inventory marketplace. Now proper now is miles. Come on, go into reverse. I certainly desire to expose you this chart. This is XRP, just still within our channel, nevertheless within our range, has broke down under $2.30 proper now, but XRP retaining in reality properly. Like I said, while you zoom out, I imply the structure on this chart is just exquisite. But as I stated, the bond market is sending a caution. I positioned out this tweet, remaining nighttime. 10 years sending the warning, everybody is happy to invest in America again, but no person wants to loan the USA government cash. What does that imply? What that means is that everyone's excited to put money into America. We're going to be the leaders in crypto. We've multiple organizations come forward. I overlook what the maximum recent one become, but they had been going to bring in 20 billion of funding into the USA. That became simply this beyond weak. Then there was that different corporation that became going to make investments 100 billion. And Trump proper, on the spot, he's the grasp of the art of the deal, puts him right, instant and says, why don't we up that to 200 billion, right? So everybody's excited to spend money on America, purchase our real property, invest in crypto corporations, put money into startups, AI, all of that. However, no one desires to invest in mortgage the USA authorities' cash. That's precisely what those bonds are. And so we can see this on the 10-12 months Treasury, once I pass again to this chart right here that I shared, as the 10-year Treasury is ready to break above 5% here yet again. Now the 20-year, the day gone by, truly did go 5% for a quick second, and the 30-year is already right there. The 10-year Treasury is getting close, we're as much as about 4%, nearly 4.7%. And which means is that no one desires to lend the USA government cash, and I do not blame them, right? And so, however, this is caution us that inflation concerns are nevertheless there. Concerns about the financial system are nevertheless there. And I assume that we want to understand this before we get ourselves too enthusiastic about XRP and our cryptos and pumping it up. Now, another element that we want to be careful of is the Department of Justice just cleared the U.S. government the capacity to sell $6.5 billion well worth of seized Bitcoin from Silk Road. Now, this is about 69000 Bitcoin. At the time of this submit, it was really worth 6.5 billion. As Bitcoin's dropping down proper, now it really is going to change. But you may cross and spot this is Arkham Intelligence. This website right here, and you could see that is their pockets, U.S. government, Silk Road man or woman, FBI confiscated budget. Now what we want to watch right here and see is, did the Biden management already lock up an option to promote this? And that would allow the authorities to be able to dump this and also be capable of get that $5 billion well worth. But we need to watch this closely due to the fact there's rumors circulating. I want to hear from you guys within the feedback down beneath. What's going to show up here with this Bitcoin? Has it already been bought through alternatives? Are we going to keep on to it? Because that is what Trump said. And then, glaringly, some folks are announcing that Trump's going to be buying and the US government's going to purchase extra Bitcoin. I do not see that taking place. Without understanding who Satoshi is, and maybe we can be making the display and we will say, oh yeah, it turned into CIA, NSA, in collaboration with some different intel organizations. Yeah, that is who it become, and now we are going to treat it as a strategic reserve. If that takes place, pump it up, ship it. Rising tide lifts all boats. But what I'm involved approximately right now is that the Biden management's trying to unload this, or they already did before. The DOJ's getting a touch Bitcoin bonus as they sell off this, and then, you recognize, head for the hills. We'll see. We'll be looking at carefully. And perhaps that is why we're dumping right now, is that just the perception is truth? And so folks suppose that the United States authorities would possibly sell off this. That may be what is sending our markets down proper now. Now, I apprehend, and a lot of us were watching this, you already know, Trump talking about a Bitcoin strategic reserve, going to the Bitcoin convention, but parents don't comprehend just how near this courting is certainly attending to be with the top Ripple executives. And so this is Benzinga coverage on Yahoo Finance, truly. And so I'm just highlighting right here that now the mainstream media is beginning to pick up on this. And that is the sort of insurance that we need. This isn't Ripple having to pay influencers. I recognize parents think that I'm paid via Ripple. I'm not. I'm now not subsidized via absolutely everyone. I know they assume that, Ripple's buying all this and hyping us up. Really, it's been a natural grassroots advertising marketing campaign that's been one of the most successful. Suppose in records, I suppose that we're going to appearance returned and see that, whether it's the riddles, whether it be the lawsuit, all of this added to our tale. And what Ripple did changed into lean into it, right? Ripple has leaned into this. And it is, I think, brought about the most a hit marketing campaign for XRP and Ripple without them having to spend a dime. And that's what this insurance is right here, is Ripple being mentioned, assembly with Trump. It's what position they are going to have in that management. We'll see. We blanketed the day gone by. They are now hiring a U.S. head of coverage. And so they are doubling down with now 75% in their open roles are going to be hiring right here inside the United States. And my prediction, they may have the biggest IPO in history, and they're going to be the darling of crypto for the Wall Street boys and women with a purpose to promote to each person else. And we're going to speak greater about that later with some other clip from the Sound Making Plans Institution CEO David Skrzowski here shortly. Crypto BitLord.